OZONE ASMR. Today we have an anime whisper ramble video where I'll be whispering my thoughts on some of my favourite anime. I also have some of that juicy anime merch that I've accumulated just over the years, but also from a recent trip to Japan earlier in the year. As a disclaimer, there may be some minor to major spoilers for some anime, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you have been warned. Also, I'm probably going to butcher a lot of the Japanese pronunciations throughout this video, so apologies in advance to you diehard fans. I'd like to shout out some subscribers. We have Raina Torres and Felipe 34. Thank you guys. You guys really liked my Death Note, Attack on Titan, and Legend of Zelda triggers from a previous trigger assortment video, and you have inspired this video, so thank you if you're out there. Anyway, if you enjoy, I'd really appreciate it if you drop us a like, and if you want more ASMR content similar to this, then click that subscribe button for more. Let's get into it. So, let's start by talking about one of my favourite anime of all time, Attack on Titan, or Shingeki no Kyojin, as it's known in Japanese. For the uninitiated, Attack on Titan started 7 years ago in 2013, I believe, and it is set in a world where humanity lives inside these giant walls that protect them from Titans. And Titans are these big, dumb, gigantic, humanoid creatures who devour humans seemingly without any reason. So the story follows several main characters, including Eren Yeager, Armin, and Mikasa. They're sort of the trio, the big three. I actually cosplayed as another main character, Levi Ackerman. For those unfamiliar, cosplay is when you dress up as the characters from a TV show, anime, or whatever. And I'll put a photo up for those who are interested. I know it's not 100% accurate or anything, but it was a lot of fun. I'm probably better suited to play Jean or someone of the taller characters. But hey, you don't take it too seriously. It was a lot of fun. Actually, here is some of my cosplay gear I'd like to show. So we have the infamous hood. This is quite a popular aspect of the show. They have to wear these hoods as part of their military uniform. I'm hoping that comes up nice on the camera. These are the Wings of Freedom. They're called the Wings of Freedom. And there's also the jacket that goes along with it. Actually, we might even put this on. There's also an apron that they wear. It's like it goes around the front. It's supposed to wrap around their waist and hold all their battle equipment, I guess. We also have a harness that holds their multi-directional maneuver gear. This is just one piece of the harness. There's like 15 pieces. It honestly takes about 30 minutes to put together. But it's really cool once it's set up. And these are the boots that I got as well. They're kind of like rider's boots or horse boots, I guess. Hopefully that comes up okay on the camera, but well, they don't smell very good. But these were all got. I bought a mixture of these from eBay and from the Universal Studios park in Osaka in Japan. They had an Attack on Titan ride there and a lot of merch, so I spent a lot of money there. In fact, I think we might gear up for the rest of this video in the Attack on Titan gear, so Shinzo wo Sasageo, and we're back with our jacket. I just decided to wear the jacket because it's way too hot otherwise. Anyways, here are some Attack on Titan keychains that I got. You can see them. And Mikasa. These are from a convention the same one that I attended wearing this cosplay. They're both very strong characters in the show. They're the type of characters that are quite reliable. You know, they're always there to get the main characters out in the pinch, that type of thing. And they're talented warriors, essentially. I haven't read the manga, but I am super interested to see how the 4th season will play out between these two especially. I have a feeling there's something bad's going to happen with at least one of them. I'm not too sure if the production timeline will be affected by the whole state of the world at the moment, but here's hoping it'll definitely be a great season when we do finally get it, whenever that is. The Attack on Titan lore is also pretty cool, pretty interesting to delve into. A lot of the lore is revealed gradually throughout the show. We learn a lot of details just throughout the seasons. It's paced quite nicely, I think, but I find it's quite good when they revisit old plot points. So, for example, the basement, Eren Yeager's basement, in like the first few episodes, they talk about it, but we don't actually see what's in there until much later in like season 3, I believe, part 2, part 1. So that's really cool. You get a bit of closure that way. You know that the writers in the show is thinking about these things. They don't just leave you hanging. No sort of dead end plots or plot lines that go nowhere. So that's one thing I really like about that. It's quite satisfying. So while we're at it, here are some replica swords from the show. Whoa. They're a lot bigger than I thought. It's been a while since I had to hold these, but they are, I'm not sure what they're made of, but they're quite sturdy. Although I wouldn't exactly try and attack the Beast Titan or Armor Titan with these things. I'd get cleaned up. Okay, I think that's enough Attack on Titan talk. Let's move on. However, I think I might stay in this outfit for the rest of the video because why not? A bit of fun. Up next, we have Haikyuu, everyone's favourite sports anime. This one's actually about a team of high school volleyball players, and they are trying to work towards qualifying for the national competition. So it's a lot of teamwork, a lot of drama around winning and losing, that type of thing. So on my recent trip to Japan, I managed to visit a Shonen Jump store, which is like the producer or distributor, I think. I'm not sure what the technical term is, but anyway, they sort of own Haikyuu, so I was able to visit their store, thankfully, on our last day in Tokyo. I was very lucky to, and pick up some of these little figurines. They're kind of like plasticky things that fit in little grooves. They just slot into the base there. But here we have the two main characters. Hopefully that's not too reflective, but let's just show off. This is Kageyama. He's the setter in the team, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware of, but gradually learn. He's a bad teammate to start out with, but he gradually learns to overcome this and become a great team player. And we've got the hothead, or fiery head, Shoyo Hinata. He's quite naive, very young to the team. Only just started playing, but the passion's there. That's what I like about him. The passion's there. He definitely commits 110% to his team and to the play, and just as graceful in defeat as he is in victory. So quite admirable. I have a bit of a bittersweet relationship with Haikyuu at the moment, just because I actually play volleyball, indoor volleyball, and every time I watch an episode it makes me really excited to play, but then it makes me sad because of course the world situation, we have social restrictions, so I can't play. So it's a bittersweet relationship right now with Haikyuu. I'm 6'1" and I put a decent vertical jump, so I play as like a middle blocker, which is what position Shoyo Hinata plays, although he's a lot smaller than I am. And basically the role of the middle blocker is to play in the front of the court mainly, so front court, and we like to block the opposing spikes. We're very defensive just because of the jump height, and we also act as another spiking option for a setter to utilise. So that's a bit of volleyball know-how for you. Anyway, I really like the wholesomeness of this show. It's very positive, very like I don't know how to explain it, but it's very wholesome. I like the characters too. They really do resemble people you meet in real life, maybe a bit to a more dramatic extent, melodramatic extent, but the characters you meet are the types of players that you'll play with as well. Anyone who's played team sports, I hope you can get what I'm saying here. You know, there's the really cocky types, or the ones that really need that extra bit of work or coaching to bring out the best in them. All those sort of characters appear throughout the show, and there's a lot of psychology involved as well, which is true for real life and true for sports. So I really like that aspect of it too. It gets me hyped up just thinking about it. I know this is an ASMR video, so let's cool it down. Anyway, I have another little figurine. This from another character from the show. This is Tanaka. Hopefully that zooms in okay. Number 5, Tanaka. He's like bald-headed. He's one of the older players in the team. He's not a freshman, but he's just your stereotypical hot-headed, falls in love with like any girl he sees, like Brock from Pokemon, that type of character, and just super angry all the time is his personality. But it's out of passion for his team, so always coming back for the team, you know, represent. I think I got this from one of the little vending machine thingos in Japan for like a couple hundred yen, which is not that much, $5 Australian. And I think the term is gashapon. Gashapon. I'm probably butchering that, but that's what the little vending machines are called. Something like that. Gashapon. I think that's the English, how you'd write it in English. Anyway, sorry for butchering that. My pronunciation's terrible. Feel free to correct me in the comments below. But anyway, that's Tanaka. Also, one last point before we move on from Haikyuu is I really like the way they explain the rules of the game and explain and bring it down to a layman's terms so that even beginners can understand what's happening. It's a really cool thing to see, so that it targets a wider range of audience. Once you really understand what's happening, it's just got a bit of thunder. That's strange. It's not normally like that where I live, but anyway, when they do explain it and everything makes sense, it makes it even more intense. The back and forth battling, cat and mouse, 4D chess. Intense monologues, you know the works. Yeah. And when it gets going, it gets going. It's poetry in motion, I like to say. Poetry in motion. Poetry in motion. Okay, let's move on for real now. Up next we have the legendary 4-dimensional chess game of Battle of Wits, Death Note. Death Note is an insane anime. For those of you who don't know, the uninitiated, the story follows Light Yagami, a high school senior in Japan, of course, who is a teen genius. It's funny to say. Anyway, Light Yagami stumbles across a mysterious, otherworldly notebook called the eponymous Death Note, of course, which belongs to a god of death, or in Japanese, a Shinigami. And this belongs to a god of death known as Ryuk. And what the Death Note does is it grants the supernatural ability to kill anyone whose name is written in the pages. Pretty freaky. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with the concept. This anime came out in 2006, so it's quite, almost 15 years old now. But in my eyes, it's a classic. It's amazing. I love it. I've seen it so many times now. I remember watching this show for the first time and getting hooked instantly. The cat and mouse that happens between L and Light Yagami, the Battle of Wits, have you? It's seriously intense, and it always made me wonder what was coming next. You know, next episode. Yeah, I remember being a lot younger in high school and binge watching these shows. Really cool. You'll be glad to know that I haven't written any names in here. That would be kind of weird, but I was a bit of a nerd in high school, so I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And I used this as my life point tracker. So you write down your life points in the book. No last names or anything, just initials. Don't want to scare anyone, but that's what I used it for. I also have these little pop vinyl figures of Light Yagami, main character, and L, also main character. Anyway, these are the one thing about Death Note that is a bit hit or miss, is that there's highs and lows. You know, they kill off some characters that you maybe would not have liked to be killed off, but I guess that's just a part of any show, really, that is happening. But overall, I think Death Note is a great example of the wonder of anime compared to live action, really, because anime is able to execute these types of crazy concepts, like a notebook that has the supernatural power to kill someone, right? They can execute these concepts well compared to a live action version. It feels very grounded in a live action scenario. It feels a bit weird or not as believable as if it was an animation. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, really rate Death Note, and definitely check it out if you haven't seen it in the past 14 years. Get onto it now. You won't regret it. Also, I know this isn't an anime, but I wanted to showcase some Legend of Zelda stuff as well, because I guess it's in the similar realm of anime. It is from Japan and made by Nintendo, I guess. So anyway, I wanted to show it anyway, but this is my puzzle of a 200-piece puzzle from the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Hopefully that shows up okay on the camera, but I know 200 pieces isn't that much. It was a fun puzzle to do, very relaxing. If you're in isolation or quarantine right now, I would recommend doing a puzzle just to slow things down, reset your thoughts and have something to work towards as well. It looks cool once it's finished. So I think I bought this from a local gaming store. In Australia we don't have GameStop or Game, anything like that, like you guys have in UK or USA. We have EB Games, E as in electronic and B as in boutique, electronic boutique games. That's what it stands for. But they sell pretty much like a GameStop. Yeah, they sell video games and merchandise, etc. But yeah, that's my little puzzle. And shout out to Felipe34 because he's a Zelda fan as well. So if you're out there, man, thanks for watching. Also, a little pixel art of Link, not Zelda, Link. I bought from the same gaming store, and it's actually a lamp. I've used it once before in my trigger assortment video, which I may link to here if I remember. But it's actually a pretty good one. I won't light it up now because it's blinding and it'll, hurt a bit too much, be a bit too harsh. It doesn't really show up well on the camera, unfortunately. But the Visual as well does a better job than Navi in Ocarina of Time. So, pretty good one. And it makes some pretty good tapping sounds actually. Let's give it a bit of a tap. Also, the retro art is kind of cool, so there you go. Back on topic to anime now. Let's talk Dragon Ball Z. This is my Super Saiyan 3 Goku pop vinyl figurine that lives under my TV on my little TV stand. I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball fan in the world. Apologise for those who are, but it's a show that's been a part of a lot of people's childhoods, whether they grew up watching the original series Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, where you could see this transformation happen for the first time. I'm sure a lot of people remember watching an episode of the original series or Dragon Ball Z, or even GT, God forbid. Just kidding. It's okay to like GT. It's okay to like anything, really. Disclaimer. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's fine to like anything. And I'm sure people remember watching an episode either before school, getting ready for school, or after school, coming straight home from school. Either or. Also, the Dragon Ball Z Abridged series that is done by Team 4 Star really reignited my interest in the series. Those guys at Team 4 Star have done a really good job of mixing story and humour. They have their serious parts there, such as like transformations and heartfelt moments, stuff that's in the original Dragon Ball Z series, but man, their humour is just top notch. I really recommend you check it out if you enjoyed Dragon Ball Z, to check out Dragon Ball Z Abridged version. Bit unfortunate that they had to finish the series at the Cell Saga because of creative burnout, which is understandable, I think, considering they've been doing it for over a decade now. I think 2008 maybe was the pilot episode of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. So they've been at it for a while, and that makes sense for them to call it quits. I think it's apt for them to finish it at the Cell Saga, arguably one of the best in the series. Also, the Super Saiyan 3 transformation, which is what we see here, has got to be one of the hypest, the most intense and well done transformations I've ever seen on the show. I hope you guys agree as well. Let me know if there are other transformations in the comments below. But I still watch the remix on YouTube to hype myself up and go to the gym or work out, doing a home workout. So it has its uses. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z, everyone. today's Whisper Ramble anime show and tell video. I hope you enjoyed your time, and if you could please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and click the subscribe button if you really enjoyed this video and made it this far. Thank you, and I'll see you all in the next video. This has been Oliver from OZONE ASMR. Take care.